Save with Progressive, save over $750 on average. Keyshawn, late last week, had an opportunity to sit down with Baker Mayfield. You'll see the interview tonight on ESPN's Monday Night Countdown before the Ravens take on the Browns. And before Key gets into the interview, listen to the absurdly high ceiling both Mike Greenberg and especially Rex Ryan think the Browns and Baker can have, especially if they can get bounced with a win tonight.
To be 9-3 and to be on your way to making the playoffs is in and of itself an accomplishment.
Well, if they get this Baker Mayfield, shoot, they can win it all.
So last year, Baker, man, I was with you up in San Francisco. We had a chance to catch up a little bit, and things were not going well, so to speak. But now you are one game away from a 10-win season, something that the Browns, as you know, hadn't done since 2007. What has changed?
It's a cultural thing. I think the guys that we've brought in have been the right moves. It's been something that our GM, Andrew Berry, and Kevin Stefanski have been on the same page the whole time. And they did such a good job of saying, here's our identity, here's what we're going to be about, and they haven't wavered from that.
Best play I've seen you make as a pro was last week against Tennessee. You went through your progressions and your reads, and when you set your feet, you changed your shoulders. In the launch point, you hit Landry in the back of the end zone. I was like, now he gets it.
And that's what I've been trying to get to. So to hear you say that, that's what I really want to get to is, like go through my reads like I'm saying, yes, no, 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 get the ball out, get the ball down.
Odell Beckham Jr. looks like he's down on the ground. He's injured right now.
Breaking news, Odell Beckham Jr. done for the season.
There's a lot of people out there that feel like not only are you playing better as a quarterback, but the team is better without OBJ. I don't feel that way. What do you say to those critics?
I hate it for Odell because I love the guy and he truly works his ass off. And we didn't have an off season to get into this system, and we were getting better around the time that he got hurt. And so it was really unfortunate timing.
You having fun in post-game press conferences. What's up with that?
Just a little mix-up of, references, some different stuff.
Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Like, oh no, that's just every fighter's role.
There's a thing going on in the QB room to have to slide in a certain quote, or there's a fine that I have to pay.
I think Miles took the approach of, real G's moving silence like lasagna.
It has to work with the question. I can't just straight up say it.
What's different about you now as opposed to last year?
Whenever I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, then I don't do that.
Man, I appreciate it, and go get that W is really all I can say. You passed the quiz against Tennessee. Now it's the test against Baltimore.
Every week after this is a test.
Indeed. So I guess you could say either that's a wrap, or every time Baker goes to the office, it looks like things are working out well for him. Let's bring in Tony Rizzo, ESPN 850 Cleveland, the co-host of the Really Big Show alongside Aaron Goldhammer, weekdays from 9 to 1. Again, the entirety of Key's chat with Baker tonight on ESPN's Monday Night Countdown. That'll whet your appetite, get you ready for Baltimore and Cleveland. Tony, you just heard a snippet from Key's conversation with Baker. What's your takeaway?
Well, I think Baker said everything we believe here in Cleveland. Number one, guys, last year was tough on Baker. The 6-10 and the big flop with there were people betting the Browns to win the Super Bowl, and the whole Freddie Kitchens thing didn't work out. He had to come in with a new attitude. He had to work on footwork. He had a lot of work to do. You're seeing finally he's starting to get it. It's his third offensive system in 3 years, and 12 weeks in, he looks like a different quarterback.
Tony, is this the biggest game tonight in Baker's entire career?
They all are moving forward, Key. I feel like, yes, it is, because if the Browns get to 10 wins, it'll be hard to keep them out of the playoffs. There's also a mental aspect to this game. The Browns need to beat the Steelers and Ravens, who have been the best teams in this division. If you want to come up and be one of the best teams in the AFC, you got to beat the teams in your division. Now, the Browns are a much different team than they were in Week 1 when they got clobbered in Baltimore. So I expect them to be ready tonight, and they have taken on the challenge every week. Kevin Stefanski's mantra of 1-0, the team is bought into. So in the past, the Browns teams have looked ahead or behind, but this version of the Browns only looks at the game at hand, and we expect them to be in it tonight for sure.
What's the talk like in Cleveland around this Monday night matchup against the Ravens amongst the Cleveland Brown fans?
Well, Browns fans are going crazy. You know, there's a whole group of Browns fans, 35 and under, that have never seen this team in the playoffs, and they're all very excited. The problem is, guys, we're only allowed 12,000 in the ball yard tonight, which, you know, kind of dampers things. There's also a curfew in Cleveland from 10 to 5 a.m., so the bars have to close down because otherwise, man, the city would be rocking tonight.
Tony, if Baker continues to play well, how will this impact his future with the Browns?
Well, I think the Browns are going to pick up his fifth-year option. I think they're pretty confident that that's going to happen. And I think they want to get a look at him, guys, for 2 years. They want to see him this year. They'll pick up his option. He'll be here next year. And then if the Browns go to the playoffs in successive years, I think you'd see Baker get that contract. He's playing better than he ever has right now. What the Browns want to see is, can he keep it up? Can he be consistent? He's shown flashes here or there. Now, he had a couple weather games where he wasn't really able to do that because of the circumstances, but lately he's been playing great, and I think, as Alex Van Pelt, the OC, said, I think the arrow's pointing up.
All right, Tony, let's switch gears for 1 second to some baseball. The Cleveland Baseball Club is expected to make a huge announcement today that the team will no longer go by the Indians. What was your reaction when you saw the news last night?
Well, I wasn't surprised. This has been something that's been talked about for a while. It's been rumored to happen. Guys, I don't think it's going to happen this year. I think much like the Washington football team, the Indians will drop their nickname, but they'll wait a year to decide what the new nickname will be. I'm sure there are a lot of opinions here in Cleveland as what it should be. Maybe we call them the Cleveland Keys.
Hey, let me ask you this, Tony. How do you think the fan base will react to today with the really big show moving to 9 Eastern?
Well, I think there'll be some people disappointed losing the old logo. They were disappointed. There were some people disappointed when they took away Chief Wahoo. But, guys, the times are changing, and, you know, we have so many more problems in society today. The nickname of a sports team is kind of silly when you think about it. I think everybody here will roll with it eventually. And I applaud the Indians for doing this, getting out in front of it before, you know, somebody came down and said they had to do it. The Dolan ownership had talked about this for a while, and I think people will be excited about it. All I know is in Monday Night Football tonight, we got the Ravens in Cleveland. That's what everybody's going to be talking about.
Tony, thank you.